virus has completely devastated over 150 of the world's major regions, and then is spreading rapidly. At this point in time, we know of only one method of killing the creatures, or to destroy the brain. Be on the guard of any loved ones who may have recently been in any sort of contact with the infected, and if you find yourself in a threatening position, please do not hesitate to act.
Hi guys, it's the Walking Dead here, king of the anime and manga unboxers. So today I'm going to be doing my predictions on episode 15 of The Walking Dead season 4, entitled Us, or is it US? Because I think episode 16 is called A, so I'm assuming it's like USA, because they're on the road to DC. But I've watched the 3 sneak peek trailers for the next episode. I want to give you my overall thoughts on what I think is going to happen in episode 15, as well as I'm going to show you some really awesome Walking Dead like pickups that I've got. I've got some really awesome canvases, and I picked up some one-shot issues of the comic, as well as I got a load of the volumes. So first I'm going to talk about Daryl and what happens to him in the trailers. Now we see him walking along the train track with these bandits, these marauders, but let's be honest, you know, they're the hunters. This group is without any question the hunters. There's no reason that the TV series would introduce 2 groups of villains right towards the end of the series, and they certainly wouldn't drag out such a short arc in the comic over another like half season in season 5. It wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. I mean, if you like it, you don't like it, they're the hunters, you know, you've just got to deal with it. So it looks like, you know, they're going towards Terminus because they're on the train tracks themselves, and we get like this quote from Joe, who looks to be the leader of these hunters. He says, when men like us, you know, follow the rules, you know, the world becomes ours, basically. And then in like, I think it's like sneak peek like 2, we get to see, you know, the bowman that wanted Daryl's jacket previously. Him and Daryl are out like hunting in the woods, and this guy says, you know, the rules of the hunt have changed, and you know, whatever you catch is basically mine. But then he goes, you know, why are you always in such a mood? Why are you down? Why are you like a dead man walking? Is it because you lost a woman? And he goes, was it a little one? And I thought to myself, did he mean like Lizzie and Mika maybe? Maybe he knew that they were a part of that group. Maybe these bandits were always watching him. I'm not too sure. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was just trying to say that Daryl might have been a paedophile or some weird shit like that. But to me it looks like Daryl's going to fight this guy, or he's going to kill this guy in the next episode. And because we actually see that, you know, this group of like the hunters or bandits, marauders, whatever you want to call them, they're in a warehouse and they're starting to like beat the shit out of Daryl. So I honestly think that Rick's group is going to come across this warehouse along these train tracks, and he's going to save Daryl. But I don't think they're going to Terminus in this episode with Daryl and the hunter group. Another quick little thing that I want to say about these marauders, these bandits, and why I think they're the hunters. If you remember back to that episode where, you know, Rick, Carl and Michonne are in that house, and Rick is underneath the bed, and, you know, they come and invade that house. If you remember, there's a conversation downstairs between them. They're saying, you know, oh, there's women's clothing, she must be like close by, and they want to go after her and they want to hunt her down. So, you know, to me, if they're saying they want to hunt down a woman, they've got to be the hunters. I mean, come on, you know. So now I'm going to talk about Abraham and Glen's group, because these guys actually look like they reached Terminus, or they're in the outskirts of Terminus at some point, because we see like a train tunnel, like pitch black like train tunnel. So I'm going to assume that Terminus is going to turn out to be some sort of train yard, a train depot, or maybe some sort of train station. Considering there's multiple different train tracks all going to this one place, it must be some sort of train depot or train yard of some sort of type. And to me, this, like I said in my predictions video of what Sanctuary is, it looks like it's actually going to be overrun, because we see, you know, Glen and Abraham's group get attacked by quite a few walkers in the dark, or there's rooms in the dark where they're packed full of like walkers. So I'm going to assume that this Sanctuary, this Terminus, is, you know, it's fallen, it's, you know, it's gone. And they're going to get there, and they're going to be, you know, they're going to have to fight for their life to get out of it. And the reason I don't think this is a hunter trap is because I think that these hunters that are with Daryl, they've gone to a different like warehouse somewhere along these train tracks, and as I said before, like Rick, Michonne and Carl, they're going to sort of like rescue Daryl, in my opinion. But I think Terminus and where the hunters are, I think they're going to be 2 completely different places. So I want to give you my overall thoughts on what I think is going to happen to Beth within episode 15 and 16. Now personally, I think we're going to see her at the very end of the series with this new mystery character that took her away. Now I won't spoil anything, but if you remember the car, it had like a cross on it, so that'll give you a big hint to who that sort of like character is. And I think this character is going to be a good guy, and he's taken her away to sort of like a safe place. I don't think he's like, you know, going to kill her or keep a hostage or anything like that, or he's got anything really to do with the hunters. But yeah, I can see that sort of like storyline getting resolved in season 5. I think they're going to keep it open, a nice little mystery, sort of like when Michonne saves sort of like Andrea at the end of season 2. I think they're going to have, you know, a nice little cliffhanger sort of thing there. Character deaths. I don't think anyone's going to die in episode 15. Well, none of the good characters. You know, none of the your Carls, your Bobs, your Sashas. None of those characters are going to die in this upcoming episode. But in episode 16, all bets are off, because I don't think they're going to try and take away from episode 14. The really shocking like Lizzie and Mika death, because I think if like some supporting characters died in this next episode, it would kind of like take away from that in a way. So guys, in the comment section down below, tell me what do you think is going to happen in episode 15, and if the episode's already happened, were my predictions right, were they completely wrong, who knows. So now I'm going to show you some of the really awesome sort of like artwork canvases that I got, and some of the one-shot like issues, and some of the comic book volumes that I got. So comic book wise, I picked up volume 8, Made to Suffer, which is essentially the downfall of the prison. Look at that front cover, the governor on the front of it, looking proper badass. I then got volume 9, Here We Remain. Essentially when the prison's fallen and they're on the run. Volume 10, What We've Become. Love Rick in that one, just looking like a proper crazy man. It looks really awesome. And then volume 11, Fear the Hunters, which is pretty much self-explanatory. So this more or less covers season 4, what we've been watching. But obviously there's a lot of changes. The TV series doesn't faithfully sort of like adapt the comic book, but it does follow the same sort of storyline. I've always seen it as the TV series being like an alternate reality version of like the comic. So the first Walking Dead canvas I got is of Michonne, and it's of issue 19, which is her first appearance. It's actual hand drawn. It's about 10 inches by 12 inches, so it's pretty small, but it does look pretty damn awesome. It's got some pretty awesome details, you can see. But it compares not to this beast. Look at this monster. It is 36 by 26 inches, absolutely massive. I love it. The detail in it's just absolutely crazy. Look at those walkers. Look at them. They look absolutely just amazing. And then we've got Carl just being absolutely swarmed. I love the detail on it. It's just amazing. And this is my Walking Dead wall, if you've not made all my printed first prints that are framed. See if I can get a better shot of that. But as you can see, like a giant wall full of Walking Dead. So the last Walking Dead pickup that I got was the one-shot issue, the special of the Governor. As you can see, the Governor special. There's the Governor looking like a beast. I have got all of the one-shots apart from the Michonne one-shot, which I really want. I've got the Tyrese one, which is pretty damn awesome. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it the old thumbs up. Please subscribe. Go check out my other like Walking Dead videos. So may the sun never set. The British Anime Empire.